This is the Up on the Soapbox podcast, a production of Soapbox Marketing Communication. The foundational goal for the Soapbox is to host and foster a simple, yet dynamic online environment which helps initiate and develop personal business connections by way of purposeful, one-on-one conversation. The Soapbox is redefining how communication is done in the promotional products industry. I am Brett Schaefer, and along with my partner and co-host Dan Piggott, we bring you Up on the Soapbox. Hey gang, welcome back to the Up on the Soapbox podcast. This is episode 3. Who would have thunk that we would have gotten to episode 3? My name is Brett Schaefer. With me, and I'll say it again, as always, is my co-host and partner, Dan Piggott. Say hello, Dan.
Hello, everybody. Number 3. Here we go.
Who knew?
Off to the races.
Right. So as we speak today, we're about a week out from our first Soapbox event, and I'd be remiss if I didn't stop and pause to say thank you. Thank you all for your support. We had by all accounts, an extraordinarily successful event. We've taken some great feedback post-event, and we look to build out the platform, make it leaner and meaner as we go forward. And we see an incredible future delivering suppliers and distributors in this industry a really incredible platform to meet and do business together. Dan, anything to add to that?
No, we're just really pleased with how it went. The technology went without a hitch, which was great. And really the important thing was that the soapboxers, the people on both sides of the aisle, just came to the platform. They logged in with energy, ready to go, and it worked like a charm. So we've already gotten anecdotal stories about orders coming in from it in the first 4 or 5 days afterwards. So it's great. It's really nice.
Still riding that high, but we're not here to talk about that today. We are here to do our podcast. And as always, we have a great guest with us today, and I'll get to him in a second. But just as a reminder, the way our podcast works is we talk to our guest first, learn a little bit about them. Then we all take a stand, and we're going to modify our process here a little bit. And I'll get to that as we get to our Up on the Soapbox segment. And then we're going to finish out the podcast with a yes/no question and have a little fun as we go about doing that. So with us today, we have promotional product royalty in the house. We have Jay Donlin from J.Charles out of Kentucky. And we're going to learn a little bit about Jay and J.Charles today. Jay, why don't you let us know a little bit about yourself, how you got into the industry, your path through the industry, what ultimately brought you to the awards and recognition side of the biz, and what's going on at J.Charles today?
Absolutely, Brett. Before I do that, I just want to thank both of you for the efforts that you made to bring Soapbox, to the industry. Just really think it's an amazing platform, and the technology is simply, really very intuitive and easy to work with. And we've already seen some great benefits from participation. So thank you for that.
Send them the check, Brett, please.
Go ahead.
All right.
So let me maybe share with you why I kind of got into the recognition space. It's kind of a fun story. Growing up in Minnesota, I guess you could say that my father was really kind of a hero for me. My father was a great athlete at the collegiate level. Was 3-sport all-star. And he played football, ran track, played basketball, and excelled in all those different categories. So here's one of his stats, for example. My father, Dick Donlin, who actually is industry guy that's been around for a long time. But the point of that is that he had 19 catches in one game in a football game, for example. Right. So after college, he actually was drafted by the Baltimore Colts in 1956, was drafted second round to Lenny Moore. And while his career didn't last very long, I mean, I thought that was pretty cool. Right.
Oh, yeah.
But his best stories were always about, for example, living across the street from Johnny Unitas and his wife and playing bridge with them. And so that was kind of neat. But anyway, my father, after football, was an athletic director, ran and operated Dairy Queen, was in the insurance business, but ultimately landed at a company called Jostens. And Jostens is where he really got involved in the recognition world. And one of the things he did as a national sales manager for them was he actually called on the NFL Super Bowl participants and was able to sell Super Bowl championship rings to the Cowboys, to the Steelers, and the Dolphins, right, back in the day. So when I got out of college, I thought that was pretty cool. I said, you know what, I'm going to go to work for Jostens, and that's what I did. So I started real early in the recognition space. Didn't have the success that he did, but I worked more in the scholastic and collegiate arena. I did, however, sell the 1987 Arizona State Rose Bowl championship rings. So that's kind of my, little bit of foray into the industry. But anyway, about 1992, my father had left Johnson's and started a manufacturer's rep company. And he brought on a bunch of recognition type lines, Awardcraft, Markin, Century Embedment, several of those different types of lines. And anyway, in 1991, I think he had some health trouble and wasn't able to travel as much as he had liked to. And so I ended up leaving Johnson's and joining him in the business and working in the manufacturer's rep business, which he had started back in 77. So anyway, great experience to work with him. And that led me into leadership and with Awardcraft and Visions, and really my whole path to where I am today. So it's always been something that I really have appreciated. I did step away from the industry for a little while recently, went out and experienced what it was like to have to market and really work to garner leads from and have appreciation for what our distributors do, bringing in business. But point being, I joined J.Charles last year in December, and I couldn't be happier. First of all, to be back in the industry. The people just missed so much, and sometimes you have to step away, frankly, to know really how great it was, to appreciate what you have. And so
your whole family, has been involved in the industry. I know your brothers. I knew your dad. I knew everybody. Tell us a little bit about what what it's like to have. How many different family members are in the industry?
Well, there's 4 of us still to this day. And so my younger brother Steve still runs the manufacturer's rep company that my dad started. So he took that over. I went down the management path, obviously joined some different companies along the way before landing here at J.Charles. Brother Tom is a national sales manager, and my sister is in purchasing for promotional companies. So yeah, we're all still in it.
That's great. That's really
So yeah, kind of a fun history. But
have you ever dipped your toe in another category in this industry, or you've been a recognition guy through and through? I know you had the rep side where you obviously had some other lines in that capacity, but when you were working for a company, was it ever in a different category?
Well, so I mean, I did have a stint working with Newton, which was on the distributor side. Right. So, I mean, there was a period of about 3 years there. But, all very, very good experiences, great learning opportunities, being out and really having to work, B2B as our distributors do every day. I mean, really gave me a lot of respect and appreciation for what they do on a daily basis. So, but that's primarily my story.
So why J.Charles?
Well, so I'll tell you, J.Charles, it's just one of those things that I had heard that there was an opportunity. And I was at a point where I was ready to make a change and heard about the opportunity, contact Chuck Dias. It's a 3rd generation company. And I mean, just my immediate reaction about the company. Just a wonderful family business. The Diocese are just a class act, and I couldn't be happier. They're just all about the culture of the company, how they treat their employees. I mean, it just really is a great experience, I got to tell you. So anyway, I've been here just about 1 year now, and it's going very well.
Good.
You working on your Southern accent there in Kentucky, or you're going to stick with the Minnesota thing?
Yeah, no, I mean, you find yourself once in a while having a little bit of that.
You gonna hit us with a y'all anytime soon now, or okay?
Just be careful. That does sneak up on you. I've been in the South 6 years now as a Jersey boy, and the y'alls they just start to fly out. So be careful about that.
There you go. Y'all is definitely one of them. Converting from you guys. Yes. Absolutely.
Right. All right, so let's move over into our next segment, which is the Up on the Soapbox portion of our podcast. And as I mentioned earlier, we're going to do this a little bit different this time. And Dan and I are actually going to contribute to this segment a little bit. So, Dan,
Yeah.
why don't you step up onto the soapbox? Tell us what's on your mind today.
What's on my mind? Well, it's not exactly on my mind, but in good fun here, we're gonna take a chance and step up on the soapbox ourselves. So I'm going to start this morning by saying I believe, and I don't know why I'm throwing this guy under the bus, but I believe Kevin Costner is the most overrated actor in Hollywood. There it is. I've said it. I'm up on the soapbox. We can discuss it later. That is my soapbox moment for today.
How much later do we have to discuss?
Well, we can do it either during this or I'll call you later. We can go into the detail. That's up to you.
All right. Well, I'm going to, in the interest of discussing it later, I will then now step onto the soapbox
Please
myself.
do.
Oh, I will. I'd like to visit the wild world of condiments today.
Condiments.
Yes, condiments. Yes. Enough
speak clearly when you say that.
Yes, okay. Condiments. Enough with the ketchup and the mayo, enough with the mustard. We get it. Those are all staples in the condiment world. This guy has been an addict of sriracha for the better part of the past 15 years or so. Sriracha is great. I'm a spice freak. I've done the death chip challenge. I go all in on spice. There's no spice that I won't try. I will say that sriracha has served me well.
Oh, look at this. He brings props.
His bottle is almost gone. Sriracha has served me well, and we've had a great relationship. But I want to say that there's a new sheriff in town. The green dragon sauce from Trader Joe's. This is an unbeatable condiment. My wife brought it home from Trader Joe's last week. It is unseated the king, the former king of hot sauce, everyday hot sauce. Trader Joe's green dragon sauce is the best spicy condiment there is.
Wow. Well played.
Nobody cares to argue with me? All right, great. That's I'm sticking to it. So we're going to move on. Let's go to Jay. Jay, I know you got some interesting stuff to contribute to this conversation. As you can see, this is high intelligence level here. So let's definitely bring it up a notch. Jay, you ready to step up on the soapbox?
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
All right, let us know what's going on in your mind today.
A pretty controversial topic, guys. This has been one of those age-old battles, no matter what race, religion, or political affiliation, that people have had it out over this topic, and that is which way the roll of paper, the way a roll of toilet paper should roll, whether it's over the top or over the back. And I'm going to make the case for why over the top is absolutely the best way that you can go. Now, you might not think that this is really that important, but it's really become very relevant recently. When you look at the crisis that we went through back in March, right, when there was this huge run on toilet paper, right, during the COVID crisis. I mean, this was a crisis similar to the, oil and gas crisis we had in 1979. But you know what? It doesn't get hyped. It doesn't get played up by the media, right?
That's right.
And I mean, I want to tell you that there was even some, theories out there, very controversial, conspiracy type theories that, for some reason, COVID wasn't the reason that there was a toilet paper shortage, right? So what was being put out there, and you never saw this in the media, of course, but what they were trying to put out there was that essentially the people that rolled over, they were wasting too much toilet paper because if you hit the top of the roll, that it would spin out of control, and therefore that was causing the crisis. But that has been disproven since. It was a conspiracy, again, one of these collusion type things. Canadian government, apparently with big paper and some of the paper mills, they were perpetuating that because they really wanted to make people think it wasn't, their fault that they couldn't meet demand that the pandemic was created. But there's very many compelling arguments, though, guys. Can I keep going?
Just to be clear, you're not citing any evidence whatsoever, correct?
Yeah, right.
Well, no, I'd like to.
It's a conspiracy theory.
There, that part. But no, there are some compelling reasons why this is important. Okay, guys. I mean,
go on, please.
Well, first of all, and probably most importantly, and everything else I say right now doesn't really matter. It's because my wife says.
I knew you were going there.
Number one, right? She says so. But over provides, and I'm excited. I'm going to look at some notes here.
Take your please look at your notes.
All right. So, obviously over provides easier access to sheets, and therefore there is a lower risk of touching the rest of the roll and causing contamination, right? And obviously during COVID, very, very important part. Let's see, what else we got? Actually, sometimes when you put a new roll on, going over reduces the risk of the paper getting jammed in the back where it's kind of, located against the back of the dispenser, right?
Yeah.
Kind of eliminates that ability of getting jammed. And also, again, because after you've used a few sheets, right, it gets real loose and you're kind of used to it being jammed. So you kind of hit it fast. Well, man, that causes it to spin out of control if you're going down the back side, right? So back is in there either.
That's a miserable experience. I'm really glad you bring it light to that.
Let's see. Over also makes it easier to visually locate and grasp the loose end of the sheets.
I'm gonna challenge that one.
Well,
come on, if it's hanging off the back, you can see it very easily and grab it very easily.
Well, but consider this. Would you, Dan, consider the fact that guys have to sometimes get up in the middle of the night, right? And it's dark.
Okay, go ahead.
We're always kind of accused of not having the best aim. Having that access in that manner is pretty darn important. Okay.
Fair enough.
So, other thing you got to consider is if you look at, hotels and cruise ships and office buildings, by folding the paper when they've cleaned the room tells the guest that, yes, that has already taken place, right? And you couldn't do that if it's going down the back. You can only fold it if it's going over the front.
You're saying it's customary in proper circles.
Yes. Absolutely. But also let's think about the the ability to create little origami shapes with your toilet paper.
Oh no, now you're going too far. I'm sorry.
Like a triangle, for example. That's kind of neat, right?
You do that at your home, Jay?
Pardon me?
Do you do that at your home? You practice origami on toilet paper origami on a daily basis, weekly? How often?
I usually just bring my phone with me. I don't do
that. Don't say that. Oh
yeah. So also, it's generally intended for the brand of the paper to be featured on the front, right? So rolling over the front would make a big difference. And when you look at our industry, you got to consider the logo potential, right? Can you imagine? If that was printed on the other side and going down the back, you would never see it.
Well, I'm thinking you might be in the wrong, as locked in and dialed in as you are into the awards and recognition industry. I'm starting to think you might have a different calling, Jay. It's the passion.
I got one more.
Oh, you got another one. All right, let's.
Probably the most compelling. Over is the way that the inventor Seth Wheeler intended the roll to go. You ready for this? May I present you with exhibit?
You have evidence.
Exhibit A. This is the original patent. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
This is the original dispenser and how the toilet paper roll is.
That's case closed, isn't it? Right there.
It's really hard to argue with any evidence you get from the internet.
By the way, do you know who invented the toilet? I'm going to throw this at you. Thomas Crapper.
Come on.
Look that one up.
I don't know if there's a way to really segue out of this segment, but I'm going to do that. I'm going to do my best.
God, I hope there's a way to segue out of it.
If anybody wishes to debate any of these allegations and facts and whatever, I'm just so flustered right now. But if you wish to debate it, please hit the comments up below and we can address them one by one. So, all right, we're going to wrap this all up with our yes/no question. Now, there's been no preparatory work on this. So Jay, you're going to just tell us yes, no, however you feel, and let's see where we go from there. So you talked football before, it's in the family. So we're going to stick with the football theme, especially since there's been so much football going on in the past week or so. The Super Bowl matchup is set. Our question for you today is, will Tom Brady play until he's 50?
Wow. Not whether or not they're going to win or not. You're not giving me that one. You're not giving me the easy one. Will he play to his 50? I think he's cut out to do that. He wants to hit that and set that benchmark. I really do believe that. I do think Tampa Bay is going to win, but I didn't say yes or no. But yes, the answer.
You think
Yes.
he's going to play till he's 50. That's fascinating. I think he can. He sure looks like he can. My God.
Well, I mean, yeah, he definitely has the ability, talent, and he seems like he's unflappable, frankly.
But meanwhile, you're predicting that he pulls it off and he wins the Super Bowl. Are you? Did you grow up a Green Bay fan or a Baltimore Colts fan?
No, unfortunately, Minnesota Viking fan.
Oh, what am I saying?
They're so tough. They're so tough.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be 50 in about 6 months, and I have a hard enough time getting out of bed. So I don't know how the hell he's going to play football till he's 50. But
I hear you.
with that, we are done for the day. Jay, thanks so much for your candor and your insight.
Yeah.
Most certainly. And
this is one we will know soon. We will not soon forget.
No, we will not. And thanks for raising the bar on
no doubt.
Soapbox segment. We really do appreciate that. But great to hear from you. Thanks for being on Soapbox, and we look forward to meeting up again in this context somewhere down the road.
All right, fantastic. Thanks, guys.